Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for your Thursday night football slate we got going on between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. These both teams hate each other, obviously, in division rivals. So this is going to be a very intriguing matchup. High octane offenses on both sides. One defense is playing way better than the other. The Chiefs are playing outstanding on defense. Chargers struggling with the run stopping ability, but still solid with the passing attack. So before I deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessageSD. And also, do not forget to sign up for the Patreon. You're getting daily lineups on the NBA slate. Also, betting advice. If you have any questions, please contact me on Instagram and DM me there, and I will definitely get back to you. Now, let's get into this intriguing matchup between the Chiefs and the Chargers. First, we're going to attack the injury report we have right here. Cornerback L'Jarius Sneed, who's been pretty impressive. He's got a personal thing going on. We're not sure if he's going to show up for Wednesday. That could be a big blow to them in their defense. Everyone else was a full participant on Tuesday. On the Chargers side, a lot of people just took a Monday rest. And then Tuesday, everyone was limited, and I think they're going to ramp up Wednesday. Everyone should be fine Wednesday so far. I don't see any other indications of why they would be out. So we're going to continue to watch that and pay attention as well. Now, we're going to get into this deep dive for the Chiefs and the Chargers, picking the top captain plays and flex for this slate. Got a lot of high price guys and a lot of guys you really want to get to. But you're going to have to fade some people, and that's the way it is. You can't afford everyone, okay? First one we're going to start off with, I will be leaning a lot to Kansas City just because the Chargers defense, they're giving up a lot of points to QBs and a lot of points to running backs. So the first one we're going to talk about will be Patrick Mahomes. Not saying bounce it back. It's really this defense that they leaned on as of late. But he had a breakout game last week. Patrick Mahomes, not a huge breakout game, decent. They scored 48. That's what was the breakout. Was the offense scored 48. A little bit of the help from the special team side of the ball and the defense. So Patrick Mahomes came through with 2 touchdowns, chipped in some rushing ability, and this game where they're going to face Justin Herbert could be a back and forth affair. All right, definitely could go into that way. You can see Kansas City getting up big, and then Justin Herbert working his way back into the game. But Patrick Mahomes is someone we're going to have to focus on. Hopefully, we get a big blow game similar to that Las Vegas matchup where we had 39 fantasy points. The matchups between Denver and Dallas, not what you want to see. They really leaned on the defense and scored just enough. He actually didn't even throw a touchdown in those 2 games, which is remarkable. All right. When you think about the Chiefs, you think about when they win, it's Patrick Mahomes putting the team on his back. This is a new reincarnated Kansas City Chiefs team where they're just really being dominant all across the board. Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to do everything. The defense is stepping up. If you're trying to figure out who's gonna win the Super Bowl, you should put in your tickets in now before it's the playoffs. All right. And Kansas City is my choice. All right. I've been telling people that for a very long time. So Patrick Mahomes is going to be one of our main captains we're going to focus on, okay? Definitely a perfect environment going up against the Chargers. They're on the road. Obviously, Kansas City's been home. That's why the defense has been stepping up. So next person we're going to focus on will be Travis Kelce over Tyreek Hill. All right, we're going to have to fade one or the other. Definitely have lineups with both. But you're gonna have to get creative because you can't afford all 3. You can't afford Mahomes, Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and expect for you to be in first place. All right, you're gonna have to get creative. If I had to choose one or the other, I'm telling you right now, I'm choosing Travis Kelce. Going up against the Chargers defense over Tyreek Hill. Okay, The strength to this Chargers defense is those corners, and they're going to be pinned on Tyreek Hill, trying to bottle him up. Travis Kelce has a great history going up against the Chargers, and period, point blank, period. The Chargers are horrible against opposing tight ends. Horrible. If we're just going to fantasy points allowed to the tight end position, um, we'll just go over here, go to the tight ends. You guys got to use this website, lineups.com, giving you up to date information and stats on a myriad of positions. Okay, and we're going to the Chargers all the way down here, 23rd and 29th in the red zone. All right, they're giving up a lot of touchdowns to the tight end position, and that's what you want. All right, you want Travis Kelce to bounce back from his performance against Las Vegas. He has had a touchdown since week 9. This is the perfect opportunity. So I love Travis Kelce as a captain, okay? I think he definitely bounced back. Nice hiatus of no touchdowns in the last 4 games. Now goes against a division rival in the Chargers, and he has the opportunity to totally smash them. Let's see if he faced them earlier. Yes, earlier this year he came through with 7 receptions, 11 targets, 104 yards. Didn't get in end zone, but got you 20 fantasy points. That's what you need, all right? If we're looking at Tyreek Hill in this matchup earlier this year, I want to scroll all the way down. Don't tell me it's one of his 50-point games. Nope, it was a 10-point game, okay? So something what I figured, all right? They focused in on Tyreek Hill, bottled him up, but you can't cover everyone, and Travis Kelce was the beneficiary, okay? So definitely go that route. I'll obviously put Tyreek Hill in the mix just because, but I like Kelce over Hill, just for to be correct. All right. If I'm choosing my favorite Chargers choice, I'm gonna pick Austin Eckler right here, dual threat. Obviously, good at running the ball. If you're picking one of the weaknesses against Kansas City, it's the running game. I think their secondary has stepped up this year. But if you want to pick and choose your poisons, Austin Eckler is going to be the key for the Chargers to move the ball with using him in the rushing and facilitating that ball in the receiving game. That's where he's really, really dynamic, getting the ball out, going up against safeties and linebackers. Austin Eckler is a mismatch, already has 16 touchdowns already this year. And you see the usage, 12, 14, 12 in the rushing attempts. And then receiving, 4, 5, 8, 7, and 6 with the targets. Getting a lot of touchdowns in week 10, 11, and 12. Slowed up the past 2 weeks, but this is going to be a intriguing matchup where they're going to need Austin Eckler to really turn up to the next level. They're going to have to find him open. It's a benefit that they get Keenan Allen back. So they have all their weapons between Eckler, Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams. There's going to be a lot of weapons to have in your lineups, okay? Going to have to get really creative. I advise more than one lineup. It's going to be really hard to nail in one exact lineup, okay? That's like winning the lottery, like 100%, okay, guys? Now, when I'm looking at this defense, obviously I want to play Justin Herbert. We're going to play Justin Herbert. But just so you guys know what the Kansas City Chiefs defense has done as of lately, okay? Look at this. They haven't given up more than 20 real points since week 7, and that was Tennessee. That was a blowout, okay? They weren't ready. And then even before that, Washington, they only gave up 13. So technically, you can say all the way since week 5, they have been very dominant, giving up only 9 points, 9 points, 9 points, 14 and 7. 7 to Green Bay Packers. Okay? So just a warning, um, in this game, this is going to be different because in division, they know what to expect from the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm going to be fine playing Justin Herbert. And I just told you a scenario where I feel like Kansas City is going to be up. Herbert's going to have to play hero ball. Not saying he's going to get these big numbers here against Pittsburgh, 38 or that 29 against Cincinnati. But if he gets you just right there at that 20 fantasy point spot, I think that can be good enough, and you can move on. But definitely, we're going to have to consider him, all right? If we're going to choose one of the wide receivers between Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, I'm going with the route running ability of Keenan Allen. There's a lot of boom bust potential with Mike Williams. He was very consistent at the beginning of the season, but as of late, it's been the Keenan Allen show. as you can see here, getting his targets back 13, 11, 13, 10, and 8. He had 2 touchdowns against the Cincinnati Bengals. He's been activated from the COVID list. He should be back and fine. That's going to be a question how his body reacts after the COVID. So, well, I can't even say that word. So I should say the C word. All right. After coming back from the C word, and I would choose Keenan Allen over Mike Williams. Okay. But if you can fit in both, definitely do, and then have a nice little back and forth where you got Kelsey, you got Keenan Allen, you got Mike Williams, and one of the cheaper options could be Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the flex position. Okay. Let's continue on. There's still more captains to choose from. Next would be Clyde Edwards-Helaire. This is one of the weak spots for the Chargers. If we're looking at fantasy points allowed to running backs, we're going to go right here, yet again, using the same website. And I adjusted right here. You can adjust from week 8 or from week 1. I want to see what the defenses have done as of late because things change from the first 4 games to the last 4 games. Okay, obviously injuries, teams evolve. And that's what you see the real cream of the crop rise. Okay, and this is what the Chargers defense is as of late. They have been giving up a ton of points, and we want to exploit that. So if we're looking at the Chargers right here, they are 26th ranked against running backs, 31st against running backs in the red zone, giving up 108 yards rushing, 4.1 yards a carry, and an absolute solid TD per game. All right, so we can definitely look at a couple guys. We can look at Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and we can also look at Darrell Williams. Darrell Williams was the backup for CEH while he was out. He came up, he stepped up, and he's getting work now with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So in certain situations, they give him a break. Darrell Williams comes in. He was able to get 2 carries for 8 yards, chipped in with 3 receptions, 3 targets, 31 yards, and a touchdown. So in that red zone area, obviously third down situation, they need someone that's going to be more sure-handed running back, and they're leaning on Darrell Williams. So that's going to be very intriguing. Something sort of like the Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott type of situation where not saying it's 50-50, but definitely more of a 70-30. Darrell Williams is coming in some situations and exploiting his mismatches. So definitely going to look towards him as well. Let's continue down. Look for some cheaper options. Jared Cook has been up and down all year. Currently questionable, limited participant. He should be fine. But no big blow up spots from him all year long. If we go back to his first matchup against Kansas City, he only had, did he even play? Yes, he only had 4 fantasy points. Not saying you always go back from the last previous game, but the track record is not good for Jared Cook. Okay, more Donald Parham than Cook if we're really looking at it. So we're gonna leave him out. If we're choosing a secondary wide receiver other than Kelsey and Tyreek Hill, you have 2 options between Byron Pringle and Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman has some solid games at the beginning of the season. Obviously chips in with the special teams, him and Byron Pringle. Good games against Baltimore and the Chargers where he had 12 fantasy points. That's what you need. You got a touchdown, and that's what you need for a bottom end flex position type of wide receiver. Good games against Buffalo, good games against Giants. So this can be definitely a scenario where Mecole Hardman, if they focus in on Tyreek Hill and Kelsey, that some of these secondary guys can go off like Mecole Hardman and Byron Pringle here at 2,600. Okay, both very sneaky options. Not going to that Demarcus Robinson well, but definitely these two have the ability to take any catch to the house. They have that type of speed. Very dangerous, especially if they're going to focus in on the 2 main guys in this offense. All right, let's find you some other LA Chargers, okay? And that will be, let's see. We got Joshua Palmer, who stepped up in the absence of Keenan Allen. He came through with a touchdown last week, 5 receptions, 7 targets, 66 yards, and a TD. I was very impressed in that. I picked him up in a couple leagues. Definitely liked his prospects. But I think he takes a little step back with Keenan Allen coming back. If we're going to choose one of the secondary options, wide receivers on the Chargers, that would be Jalen Guyton. He's going to be the deep guy, all right? All he does is run go routes, and in back-to-back weeks, he has touchdowns against Cincinnati and the New York Giants. Came through with a big play of 44 yards and another big play last week of 59 yards. That's what you need, a big home run hitter right here, similar to a Deshaun Jackson type. Jalen Guyton can be that guy for you in your late flex positions, all right? So we're going to clear out the tier 2, tier 3 guys, and then the bottom end, all right? We're going to focus in on the kickers, definitely like Butker and Hopkins as of late. Butker has been on fire. Obviously, this Kansas City Chiefs offense has been moving the ball. They haven't been scoring touchdowns, but they're able to get into kicking position. And Butker has been the beneficiary. 14 fantasy points against the Raiders, 13 fantasy points against the Denver Broncos, 9 against Dallas, and 12 against Las Vegas. Very good performances from a $4,000 salary player, getting you just enough to move you up in these tournaments. Probably going to be lower owned anyway because a lot of people are just going to assume absolute shootout, all right? Definitely like Butker. And the same thing goes for Hopkins. Hopefully they're not too far behind, but this Chargers offense moves the ball just as well. And Hopkins has back-to-back weeks of over 10 fantasy points. And obviously that Denver game was a wash because Denver is a very solid defense, especially in that mile-high altitude, all right? So Hopkins, Butker are going to be thumbs up in our lineups. If I had to choose a defense, I would choose the Chiefs defense because as of late, they have been very, very good, all right? 9 points in 3 straight games allowed, okay? Things could be different if the cornerback Snead does not play. He has personal issues, but we can just throw in the Chiefs, okay? If I'm choosing one or the other, I'm choosing Chiefs. I'm fading the Chargers, and then we can move on from there. If we have anyone other than that below the $2,000 price range, where, like I said, I'm not going that DeMarcus Robinson route. Derek Gore is a third string running back. Joshua Kelly is he's technically the backup running back. Was able to come through with 10 fantasy, not 10 fantasy points, 10 rushing attempts and a catch. You could throw him in there because he's pretty much sharing carries with Justin Jackson. So that's kind of a bit of a coin toss. I don't really want to go this low right here, okay? With the 2,000 and below, you got two guys who are getting some work, but definitely you trying to figure out which one it is, you would have to get, obviously, you have to get lucky. So we're going to stay there. And we're going to stay at that Parham. We'll throw him in there if he's able to come through. We're going to start at that Parham and Pringle. That's where we're going to leave off at. And then you're going to work your way up, okay? And that will be our breakdown for the Thursday night football showdown between the Chiefs and the Chargers. Some of the key guys we're going to leave at the end of the video. These are going to be the key guys, all right? That's going to be obviously Austin Eckler, Travis Kelce, and one more will be Clyde Edwards-Helaire, okay? We're going to keep it plain and simple for you, okay? Eckler, Kelce, Edwards-Helaire are my 3 absolute key guys to have in this game on Thursday to exploit mismatches on both sides, and then you can build around these guys. If you put those 3 in, obviously if they're currently in the flex, it's going to be a little bit different if you put one in the captain spot, but we're leaving you enough salary to fill in the other positions, okay, and get top quality guys. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessageSD, and I'll be back with another video very soon. Peace out, guys.